السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلق والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا فعلمنا ينفعنا، وانفعنا ما علمتنا وزدنا علما، وأرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه، وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه، وعلى من الذين يتبعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه، وأدخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين آمين. But I want to bring some comment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran al-Kareem, قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون. So there is a difference between those who knows rules of Allah and those who don't know. And the Muslim, during our daily life, we are exposed to many issues. And some of these issues could happen and it can affect our worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, yesterday in Khutbah al-Jum'ah, Imam in prayer, so when he starts that prayer al-Ihram, he made it too long. And instead of saying Allahu Akbar, he said Allahu Akbar. So what happened? So I know, because I have seen some of the Muslims, immediately when the Imam say Allah, then they start the Allahu Akbar. So what is the result? They finish Takbir al-Ihram before the Imam. Now based on Jumhur al-Ulama, the Salah is void. This is how serious, how to know the rules of our prayer. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا كَبَّرَ الْإِمَامِ, if the Imam said Takbir, then you follow his Takbir. We shouldn't race with the Imam. We shouldn't say Takbir al-Ihram with the Imam. The first school, they said, if you do Takbir al-Ihram before the Imam, your Salah is void. And if you do it with the Imam, means the Imam say Allahu Akbar and you say Allahu Akbar at the same time, then the three schools, they say your Salah is void. Only Imam Abu Hanifa, he said it is accepted. Why we put ourselves in this situation? Now some people they say, oh, these people, they don't know. This is not excuse. You need to learn. You need to learn. This is basics in our deen. This is pillars. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ, he had Mu'adh ibn Jabal. Imagine, who is Mu'adh? He is the one who the Prophet ﷺ said, by Allah, O Mu'adh, I love you. He catch Mu'adh from his neck and he shake him well. And he said, oh Mu'adh, it is your religion. Be serious in it. It is your flesh and blood. That's how serious to learn our deen. Imagine those people who say Takbir al-Ihram before the Imam. The Salah on the four schools is what? And they don't know. Most of them, they don't know. And this is what is really bad. Really, really, we are Muslim. We need to learn our deen. We need to know the rules of our ibadat, the rules of our prayers, the rules of our wudu, the rules how to perform salah, how to perform umrah, etc. So, today I'm going to start with the wudu, and inshallah we will finish before the time. So, wudu in language, in Arabic language, it means cleanness or brightness. That is the meaning of the word wudu. And in the Sharia, wudu means that you need the water to reach some part of your body in specific times and specific areas. Now, the hukum of al-wudu, it is wajib if you need to do wajib. And it is sunnah if you need to perform sunnah. What that means if you want to do salah, any salah, then it is wajib. But if you want, for example, just to read Quran from your memorization, now wudu becomes sunnah, mushaf. Okay? If you want to read Quran from the mushaf, from the Quran mushaf, then it is wajib. If you want to read Quran from your phone, so wudu is sunnah. So you can read from your phone, you can read Quran without wudu if you want. But it's better to have wudu. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is our reference. A reference for all scholars in the subject of wudu is this verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 6. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ. So this is the reference for all the schools regarding wudu. Now, when we hear an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it means it is wajib. It means it is wajib. Except if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, do it or not do it. It means if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave the Muslimin option, do it or not do it. Now, for example, the night prayer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يَا أَيُّهَا الْمُزَّمِّلُ قُمْ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. This is an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to stand in the night and pray. And based on that, the Prophet ﷺ, at the beginning of the da'wah, the salah was not enforced. So he ordered the Muslims to pray in that. And that happens in Mecca. So that means they used to pray the night qiyam as farz. And then after Al-Isra al-Mi'raj, when Allah enforced the 5 times prayers, then the night qiyam becomes an option for the Muslim, but it's still farz for the Prophet ﷺ. So this is how the scholars they understand. So when there is an order from Allah in the Quran, or an order from the Prophet ﷺ, it is wajib, means we have to make. We have to comply with it. Unless the Prophet ﷺ told us not to do it all the times and do it sometimes. For example, the Prophet ﷺ told us about siwak. he told us about siwak. So he said, when you are performing your salah, use siwak. So this is an order from the Prophet ﷺ. But he said in another hadith, he said, I don't want to make it hard on my ummah, otherwise I will tell them to use the siwak with every salah. So now this hadith gives us flexibility, means that you can do the siwak sometimes and you can skip the siwak sometimes. But which one is better now? Now you can question, which was better, to do the siwak or do it without siwak? So for sure with the siwak, for sure with the siwak. Now, who is the person who should do the wudu? So now, the first condition, he should be a mature. He is adult. He is adult. So our boy, 7 years or 9 years, because he is learning how to pray. So we need also to teach him how to make wudu. So is the wudu must for that person? Yes. If he is learning how to pray, he needs to learn how to make wudu. But as principle, because he's not becoming a mature, means he's not yet an adult. So in Islam, there is no sins written for him. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Kuf'aqam, means it is not written. The sins for those who is, number one, and the 3 person or 3 categories. A saghir, be young until he become an adult. This is one of them. And one who lost his mind or he is mentally unstable. Until he come out. And the one who is sleeping until he wake. So while you are sleeping, even you speak wrong, it is not counted. Maybe you saw a dream or nightmare and you speak bad words, it is not written while you are sleeping. Now, we have to understand 2 things regarding the wudu. There is one thing called conditions, and there is another one called pillars. So we need to learn what is the conditions for wudu and what is the pillars for wudu. The difference between both. The conditions, it is the things which is before the wudu. It is not part of the wudu. This is called conditions. Okay? For example, the condition for anyone to pray, one of the conditions, he should be an adult. Right? So he should be awake. Means his mind is there. Means he is aware of what he is doing. So this is the condition. He is aware. Means in reality he is right. So this is called condition. Now, for the wudu, the first condition means either if this condition is this, it means his wudu is correct. The first condition should be a Muslim. So what about the kafir? Does he need to make wudu or not? Okay, I will give you another question. Is the kafir needs to pray or not? 5 times prayer. Does he require to pray 5 times prayers or not? This is a challenging question. Huh? No? He is supposed to pray. Means because he is not praying, he will be punished because he is not praying. But if he prays while he is not Muslim, his prayer is not accepted. So he will be punished because he is not praying, and he will be punished because he is kafir. So if he is supposed to pray, means he is supposed to make wudu. So then, if he is kafir and he makes wudu, then his wudu is not accepted. Even he knows exactly how to perform wudu. He is kafir, so his wudu is not accepted. Okay? So we got this point. This is called condition. The condition to have an accepted wudu, number 1, be a Muslim. So the kafir, he is supposed to perform wudu to perform salah. But it will not be accepted until he becomes Muslim. Number 2, until he is stable, means he is aware and he knows what he is doing. This is number 1. So the one who is unstable mentality means he is not aware of what he is doing, he don't know what he is doing. So this person, his wudu is not accepted. And he is not required to make wudu because he is not required to perform salah even. He is not required to perform salah because he is not aware of what he is doing. And then number 3, to know what he is doing. This is the 3rd one. Now this applies to the children. So a child will see his father performing wudu. So the child, he starts copying what the father is doing. So is the wudu for this child accepted or not? Because he don't know what father is doing, so he's copying. So he is not required to do wudu. And his wudu is not shari'an, not accepted. Now, first one which is very important is the intention. The intention. For example, you jump into the swimming pool and you are already breaking your wudu. So you jump in the swimming pool, so you swim and come out from the swimming pool without any niyyah, and then you go to perform salah. You need to perform wudu because you did not have intention before you swim to make wudu. Now another question will come out. Oh, is swimming can compensate wudu? Huh? Yes or no? Is swimming can compensate wudu? If you have niyyah, yes. So before you jump into the swimming pool, so you have niyyah to have wudu, and you jump in the swimming pool and swim, come out, so your wudu is, you got wudu. So that's why I'm saying we need to learn. Now, when we know the rules, we know what we are doing is correct or wrong. Now, the next one, as you know, niyyah should be in heart. We shouldn't say the niyyah in tongue. Okay? The niyyah is in heart. The next one, to have a fresh water, means water is tahur, means a clean water. So that should be a clean water. It shouldn't be water with najas. Water with najas. Now, the scholars, they have so many classifications for the amount of najas which transfer the clean water from clean status to najas status. Don't go into this, but let's take this one. You should have clean water to make your wudu. Okay? And then the next condition, remove from your skin anything which can make insulation between the water to reach your skin. For example, painters, the people who do painting. So because of the paint splash and they cover their hands. So they cannot make wudu until they have to remove the paint from their skin. Woman who is using nail paint, their wudu is not accepted because the nails is covered with paint. This is very important. And I know many women, they don't even take it to their consideration. Another example, you know the Vaseline. The Vaseline. The Vaseline is a thick layer. So any material or lotion material or any ointment which makes a thick layer on your skin which prevent the water to reach your skin, so your wudu is not bad. You have to understand. That's why I mentioned Vaseline, because many people use Vaseline, while they don't know that Vaseline is make coating to your skin. It makes a coat. So if you have Vaseline, you need to remove it for performing wudu. Now for the painters, for example, paint is hard to remove, and the salah is there. So they need to remove as much as possible, so that they can do the wudu. Next one about henna. You know, many of us use henna. So the henna does not perform coating on the skin because it is absorbed by the skin. So the scholar said the henna is okay, you can do wudu even you have henna. Now, the next one is to remove the najas. So any najas on your body, you need to take it up. Now, najas means either any part of the pee or the poo. This is najas. Now, Jumhur ulama, they said you have to remove the najas before you make wudu, so that your wudu will be accepted. Means, for example, you go to pee, you pee, then you need to clean. Make sure there is no najas, there is no pee on your skin or on your clothes. Now, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, he said if there's any najas on your skin or your clothes, so your wudu is not valid. While the other three schools, they said even if you have najas, your wudu is valid. So keep this in mind. Now, about the clothes. So if there is najas on your clothes and you know there is najas, you should remove it before you perform your salah. But if you don't know, then your salah is accepted. It happens one time the Prophet ﷺ was standing and praying while his shoes is on. And the companions, the same thing, they have their shoes on. So while he is praying, Jibreel alayhi salam, he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he told him there is some najas on your shoes. So the Prophet ﷺ, he took off his shoes while he was praying. So their companions, anhum, when they saw the Prophet ﷺ removing his shoe, they removed their shoes too. And after the prayer, they asked him, Ya Rasulullah, why you did that? He said that Jibreel alayhi salam came and told me there is a najas on my shoes, that's why I paid off. So the scholars, they understood from this incident that if there is any najas on your cloth while you don't know about it, so your salah is accepted. It won't affect your salah. So Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, he said no, you should remove it. Now, this is the conditions. And again, the conditions to be Muslim and mentally stable, to know what you are doing. Number 3, then to have niyyah, intention. Number 5, to have a clean water. And then number 6, to remove any material which can make a coating on your skin or nails that prevent water to reach. And then number 7 is the najas. Remove the najas if there is any najas which is pee or poo on your body, earth, or on your cloth. Now the pillar of the wudu is 6. Again, the reference, as I told you, is the verse from Surah Al-Ma'idah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة. If you want to perform salah, Allah said, فاغسلوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you want to perform salah, so then first you wash up your faces and your hands till the elbows, and then you smear your faces, your head, and your feet. Up the Kaaba. Now, this is a reference, and it tells exactly what is the pillars of the wudu. Because the Prophet ﷺ, this is the reference from the Sunnah. So, the reference from the Sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ, he saw a man who came to pray. So, he offered prayer in the Masjid Nabawi, while the Prophet ﷺ was sitting with the companions. Then, that person, after he offered the prayer, he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he gave salam. Now, from this, the scholars, they got rules number 1. If you enter the masjid, the first thing you should do is what? Is to pray, not to offer salam. Okay? So, the first thing, when you enter the masjid, is to offer tahiyyat al-masjid. Then you go and do the salam for the Muslim. Whoever wants. Now, number 2, when that person comes to the Prophet ﷺ, he offers salam, then the Prophet ﷺ told him, go back and repeat your salah is not accepted. So that fellow, he went back and he performed another time the salah. Then he finished and came back to the Prophet ﷺ. And then the Prophet ﷺ again told him, go and repeat your salah because your salah is not accepted. Then he go back for the third time and repeat the salah and come back. Then again the Prophet ﷺ told him, go back and repeat your salah is void. Then that person said, Ya Rasulullah, by Allah, I don't know how to perform the salah except what I have done. Then the Prophet ﷺ, he started explaining to him how to perform the salah. So at the beginning, he told him, you should perform the wudu in the matter which Allah stated in the verse from Surah Al-Ma'idah. So that's what the scholars said. This is the basics. This is the pillar of the wudu. If you do this, then your wudu is accepted. Okay? So this is called the hadith of al-musi fi salat. And this hadith is different for all the scholars regarding the wudu and regarding the salah. No. So number 1 pillar, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة. First thing, فاغسلوا وجوهكم. Wash up your face. So number 1, to wash the face. This is the first time. And the face. So what is the element of our face? So scholars said the face, it was what is in the front of the person. This is called face. So the face limit is from the the starting of the hair until your chin. This is up and down. From the start of the hair on the top, on the forehead, until the chin. And from the ear nipple left right to the ear nipple left. So some people, they do wash their face and they forget this area, which is behind the beard, and in front of the ear nipple. This area is part of the face. So if they didn't do things with water, did not reach this area, the wudu is not bad. See, it's not valid. Now, what about people who are having beard? So how they should do the wudu? We are talking now about the pillars. Okay, the pillars. We're not talking about the sunan. Sunan will come after. So the pillar. What about the pillar? Our beard. So, as it is stated, we have to face what is in the front. So what is required is to wash the face and the front pillar and the front of the beard. Now, the scholar has differentiated between two types of beard. There's light hair and there's a heavy hair. So the light hair means that your skin can be seen between the hair. This is called light hair beard. So this situation requires the water to reach the skin. The water to reach the skin. If you have a heavy hair, means the hair will not let you see the skin underneath. So only you need to wash the hair of the beard. Is that clear? Wash the hair of the beard. What about the one which is under the chin? Under your chin. This is not part of the face. This is not part of the face. This is part of the neck. This is part of the neck. Now in the verse, Allah said, wash up your faces. So now we are talking about the face, which is from the top, the start of the hair and the forehead until your chin, and from the nipple of the ear to the nipple to the second ear nipple. Okay? Now, the next one, what about the mouth and the nose? Mouth and nose. Is it part of the face or not? Yes or no? No. 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 I'll tell you why. What is in the face, the meaning of the face? It is the one which is in front of you. Okay? What about the mouth inside? Is it part of the face? No. What about inside the nose? It is part of the face? No. So the nose from outside, yes, it is part of the face. And the mouth from outside is part of the face. Okay? But inside the mouth, it is not part of the face. And inside the nose, is not part of the face. Now, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, he said it is part of the face. Only Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. He said it is part of the face. Means in the school of Al-Hanabila, you should make wash for the mouth and clean for the inside of the nose. But Jumhur ulama means Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik and Imam Shafi'i, they said no, it is not part of the face. Now this is, every school has their own reference. So I don't want to confuse you. So this is the rules of the school. So Imam Ahmad considered that the nose and the mouth, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, is part of the face. While the other three schools, they are not considering the mouth and the nose part of the face. And based on that, Imam Shafi'i keep this picture of Imam Shafi'i. He said, I never get to know from any resources that a person who performs wudu without cleaning the nose and doing the gargling, I didn't know any resources that his wudu is void. Means if you perform a wudu without cleaning the mouth, without cleaning the nose, your wudu is accepted. Okay? Keep this in mind. So based on these, Jumhur ulama means Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, and Imam Shafi'i, if you didn't clean the nose and the mouth, your wudu is still valid. But Imam Ahmad says no, you should do it. Now, next one. The next pillar of the wudu. So the first pillar is the face. Now we understand what is the face. Next one is the hands. وَغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرْفِقِ. وُجُوهَكُم, your face, and your hands. So your hands means your hand from the tip of your fingers to the elbow. Now the question, because Allah said to the elbow. To the elbow means this elbow. Allah clean the elbow itself or just up the elbow. So the verse does not say the explanation of this, but based on the sunnah as narrated, they say that the Prophet ﷺ used to wash the hand and the elbow. So he used to clean or wash the elbow too. This is the thing, because some people, when they want to wash their hands, they start from the wrist, from this, which is wrong. Now they are missing their hand. So the hand should be from the tip of the fingers, covering all the way until the elbows. And this is how the Prophet ﷺ used to do. Then the next part, وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ, means you smear water to your heads. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ. And here there is some difference in understanding between the source. Because they said, do I need to smear all the head or just part of the head? This is the difference between source. Now, the first opinion, they said you have to clean, means to smear with water all the head, going back and moving forward. This is one school. Other schools, they said no, part of it. So what is the difference between the two of them? It is because of the letter B, رؤوسكم. So the first school, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, he said برؤوسكم. It is similar to the speak of the Prophet طوفوا بالبيت, means make tawaf بالبيت. The letter B here, it means you go around the whole Kaaba. You go around the whole Kaaba, not part of the Kaaba. While the other school, Shafi'i, he said B means heart. The Prophet ﷺ, he said if you want to soften your heart, so you smear on the head of the orphan. And he said not all the head, but part of the head. So because of this letter B, so the scholar has different opinion. So Imam Ahmad, he said it has to be the whole head, while Imam Shafi'i, he said it is part of the head. part of the head. And this is the most convenient for all Muslims. As per the scholars, they said part of the head is more convenient for the men and women. For men and women. Now, what about the ears? Is it part of the head or not part of the head? So, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he said that the ears is part of the head. Based on the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he said that the ears is part of the head. While the other schools, Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik and Imam Shafi'i, they said the ear is part of the head in smearing, not part of the head, actual head. So they said the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, when he said that the ears is part of the head, he means that you need to smear the ears to clean it, same like you clean your head. Means you don't need to wash the ears. You need just to smear. You put your finger inside and other finger outside and you just move it with the water. Just water on your fingers and move it with two fingers around the ear. And that's it. So based on that, Imam Ahmad said the ears is part of the head. You have to make it. While Imam Shafi'i and other Imams, they said no, the ear is not part. So if you do the ear cleaning or you don't, your wudu is valid. Your wudu is valid. Now the next pillar, وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ. Now the feet have to be washed, not to smear. Because some people, they misunderstand first, so they just smear the feet, which is wrong. The feet have to be washed, same like you wash your face, same like you wash your hands and arms. Again, the feet have to be washed with the water. Up to the Ka'bayn. Al-Ka'bayn, on the side of your feet, there is a bone coming outside. This is called Al-Ka'bayn. Al-Ka'bayn. So your feet, on the top of your feet, there is a bone which is coming out. This one called Al-Ka'bayn. So you have to wash whole feet, including Al-Ka'bayn. It is the same like what we said about Al-Rafaqin Ibus. So the ayah is to Al-Ka'bayn, but it is including Al-Ka'bayn. So you need to wash the whole feet and the Ka'bayn, which is the two bones which is coming out from your feet. So this is the feet. Now, the next pillar is the ordering of the wudu. Means you have to follow the order as per Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the verse. And this is one of the things which the scholars, they take into consideration when you read the verse. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ فَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُم. So the first thing, اغسلوا وجوهكم. So first thing, wash the face, and then wash the arms, and then then you smear your head, and then you wash your feet. So this is the order. So you have to follow the order. So some of the scholars, they say you have to follow the order. So if you make different order, some scholars, they say your wudu is complete. While some schools they say you still have wudu, it's not vote. So the scholars, they said, because the Prophet ﷺ practice, he used to follow this order, he never make it different order. That's why we need to follow the Prophet ﷺ order, how he used to perform the wudu. And then the last one, this is number 6 of the pillars, is called al-muwala. Al-muwala means you should perform the wudu for one member after member. Don't leave a gap in between. Don't leave a gap in between. So if you leave a gap, what will happen? Now, based on that, there was one hadith, and based on this hadith, the scholars, they have taken this rule. Khalid ibn Ma'lan, that the Prophet ﷺ, he have seen one person praying. Means he was praying. He finished his wudu and he come and start praying. He saw in his feet, a place which is almost the size of a dirham. Means like the coin, like the dollar coin. And it wasn't having a water on it. So we understand that the Prophet ﷺ, he saw the water in the skin. He saw the water is shining. Except this part in that person's leg wasn't having water on it. Means it was dry. Then he said to that person, go and repeat your wudu. Go and repeat your wudu. So based on this hadith, the scholars, they said, so if your wudu is interrupted for a short, long period, then you have to repeat your wudu. So the long period, they took it from this incident. So that person finishes wudu, and then he comes and he starts his prayer. So the time makes him from that until the Prophet ﷺ saw dry area in his feet, in that person's feet, it was some time, right? So the scholars said, if you cut off, means you interrupt your wudu for long time, you have to repeat your wudu. For example, if you are making wudu, and then the doors, somebody is knocking on your door. So you go to open the door, okay, maybe your father, your mother, your child, or so and so. Then you tell them, I can't do, I have to complete my wudu. Then you go back and you continue your wudu. This is good. For example, you open the door, you find a salesman, and he starts talking with you about no offers from this company, no offers from that company, etc. It takes time, you talk with them. Then you finish, you close the door. You can't now go and complete your wudu. You have to repeat your wudu from the beginning. So scholars, they said the time means the interruption. When you stop your wudu, it has to be short so that you can continue. If it is longer time, and you know how long is it, they said this is well known between the people. Sharia does not give us the proper time, but I can tell you from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which is narrated by Khalid ibn Ma'lan, so the time which is enough for you to make at least one rak'ah, this is considered long time. Okay? This is considered, you finish your wudu, then you go after the person, he make his rak'ah, and while he was in sujood, the Prophet ﷺ saw the dry area in that person's skin. So this is the 6 pillars of the wudu. Now, the sunnah, this is very important to know the sunnah in our wudu. The sunnah, there's 11 sunnah we need to go through. So maybe I can just start with few, then we can finish it, inshallah. So the first sunnah is to say Bismillah. The first sunnah, because the Prophet ﷺ, he said there is no wudu considered if you do not say Bismillah. So this hadith is not authentic 100% sahih. So there is some weakness in this hadith. That's why the scholars they said This hadith means it's not wajib. That's why they consider to say Bismillah before you start your wudu, they consider it as sunnah. So if you did not say Bismillah, you forget, so there's no problem. But it is preferred to say Bismillah before you start your wudu. Before you start your wudu. Now, if I forget to say Bismillah before I start wudu, then I remember while I am doing the wudu. Yes, you can say Bismillah while you're still doing your wudu. So before I wash my hand, I forget to say Bismillah. So after I wash my face, I remember, I forget to say Bismillah. Then you say Bismillah whenever you remember. Whenever you remember. So what if I finish my wudu completely and then I remember, I didn't say Bismillah, it's gone. No, it's gone. You don't need to say Bismillah after you finish your wudu. So the first one is to say Bismillah at the beginning of your wudu before you start anything. The next one is to use the swak. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, in Abu Bukhari, he said, I don't want to make it hard on my ummah, otherwise I will ask them to do the siwak before every wudu or when they are doing wudu. And it's a Muslim, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he repeated the same hadith he said whenever they perform their salah. So the hadith is very clear in Sahih al-Bukhari. Before or whenever you want to do wudu, do the siwak. So the sunnah of the scholars, all scholars, four scholars, four imams, they confirm that using siwak for the wudu, for the wudu, why perform wudu is sunnah. The difference between the imams, they said when to do the siwak, before wudu or while you are doing wudu. So this doesn't matter. If you can follow any school of them, that's fine. But at least use the siwak whenever you want to perform wudu, either before or while you are doing the wudu. The third one is to wash your hands. Washing hands is a sunnah. Washing hands is sunnah. This is different than the one in the ayah, in verse. The verse said, وَغْسِلُوا أَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ. So the wash for the arms and the hands in the verse, it's from the start of the fingers up to the elbow, including the elbow. This is the wajib. This is the pillar. While the sunnah, washing the hands, this is at the beginning of the wudu. At the beginning of the wudu. He said, I have seen the Prophet ﷺ performing the wudu. When he performed the wudu, he washed his hands 3 times. So that he said, he washed the Prophet ﷺ, washed his hands 3 times. 3 times. And before is to do perfect cleaning for the mouth and for the nose, for those who are not fasting, for those who are not practicing fasting. And good cleaning, now, what is called in Arabic madmada, means just to put the water in your mouth and throat. Okay? Put the water in the mouth and throat. This is called madmada. But perfect cleaning is to move the water inside your mouth from right to left. This is called perfect cleaning for the mouth. That would make any food particles which is stuck in between your teeth to go out. This is called mubalagh, extreme wash up for the mouth. And then extreme nose cleaning. So nose cleaning, so the normal nose cleaning is just to push the water inside your nose with your hand. Means this. So this is nose cleaning. Okay? This is nose cleaning. But to increase, to make extreme nose cleaning, you need to suck a little of the water with your nose so that it goes inside more, and that's called extreme nose cleaning. So this is sunnah. Now we understand. If you want to do sunnah for mouth and nose cleaning, so you put the water inside your mouth and move it right to left, and in your nose to suck it of the water, go inside the nose and then push it out. That the Prophet ﷺ said, "Stanshaq wa stanthir," means you suck some of the water inside your nose and then blow it out. So this is called al-istinthar or al-istinshaq. This is the extreme nose cleaning. And inshallah, we'll leave the dua for those who wants to go, you can go, and anyone who wants to say some questions after the dua. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. اللهم اجعلنا من المتحابين فيك، جعلنا يا رب من المتعلمين لدينا، واغفر لنا ذنوبنا وتقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم. اللهم اجعل مع هذا مع البركه مرحوم والفرق عن بعده معصوم، وتجعلنا فينا حقنا ومحروم. اللهم علم ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم رب الناس اذهب بالباس، اشفي اخواننا يا ربي من كل مرض ومن كل سقم، انت الشافي لا شفاء الا شفاء، شفاء لا يغادر سقما. اللهم لا تجعلنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا الا غفرته، ولا من الا فرجته، ولا عين الا سترته، ولا مريضا لا الا شفيته وعافيته، وحاجه لنا من حوائج الدنيا والاخره الا يسرها وقضيتها برحمتك وربك يا الجلال والكرم. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم. جزاكم الله خير. In the next lecture we continue the Sunan of the Wudu. جزاكم الله خير.
جزاك الله خير. The question is that is wudu considered done while taking a shower?
Yes. So while you are taking the shower, now inshallah we'll cover this topic in the next lecture. As we mentioned at the beginning, even if you go for a swimming pool and just jump in and you have the niyyah for having wudu, so you consider that you got wudu. So when you are doing shower, you need to have niyyah. So without niyyah, it's not accepted. That's why the Prophet said, "Innamal a'malu binniyat." So if you don't have niyyah, then your shower does not cover your wudu. So even you have a shower and was perfect shower, if you don't have niyyah, then you need to remake wudu after you finish.
The second question is that some people dry the face, the towel while they're doing the wudu, and then they wash their feet. Is that okay?
What are doing?
So they perform the wudu, they have to clean their face, but then they also wipe it the towel, and then they clean their feet.
Yeah, but in between they have to complete everything else, right?
Of course.
Face and then arms and then the head
and then the wipe it.
And then the feet. So I mentioned interruption is acceptable if it is short time. If it's short time. So for example, they wash their face, okay, and then they stop, they wipe it, and then again they continue with the arms